Hi there, it's Natalie and Miranda from Custom Crafts.
And we are here at CHA 2010 with Tim Holtz. We are
there.
at the Ranger booth.
Yes.
And we're so excited to be here with you. We have
Thanks.
a couple questions for you
Okay.
we're very interested in. I have one that I thought would be kind of cool.
All right.
You have said that it is time to embrace your imperfections.
Correct.
And I was just curious as to what you thought your imperfections were.
My imperfections are trying to do everything at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah.
multitasking.
I think we're all guilty of that.
I need to learn the word no. But I can't, not for right now.
And also, I was going to ask, do you feel like you have to create on a daily basis? Like, is it something you want to do every day?
It is something I want to do. It's never anything that I feel I have to create. And I think that is why I love what I do so much, is the fact that when I'm home, when I'm not at a trade show, when I'm not doing whatever it is, I'm in my studio crafting all the time.
That's
So
wonderful.
you're like, what do you do for fun? I'm like, this. No, really, when you're tired of this. But I'm not tired of this.
Well, with all this wonderful product, we can see why you have the urge to craft every day. So why don't you show us some of your new things?
Cool. Well, one of the most exciting launches at this show is 12 new colors in the Distress ink line. I think a lot of people have come to love this, this palette and of course these products. So we've introduced 12 new colors, and we put the whole collection of 36 up so you can see the difference in the new colors. Spun Sugar being one of the new pink colors. We have Barn Door, which is a new red. Rusty Hinge. Wild Honey. We've got some new greens. We have Bundled Sage, Crushed Olive, and Forest Moss. These are really cool greens, and you can see how they complete that palette that we had before.
Absolutely, there's not a color missing right now.
In the blues, we have Stormy Sky, Chipped Sapphire, and Tumbled Glass, and again, that just kind of fills in those gaps.
Definitely.
A few new shades. We've got Victorian Velvet, which is now this new mauve color, and Pumice Stone, which is kind of this cross between gray and taupe color. So this really rounds out our palette of distress. We've launched it in the inks, and hopefully the rest of the products in the distress line will soon follow it.
Those
I know
are
this
great.
is going to be great. I think everyone owns every color of Tim Holtz Distress.
Or
We love
if they,
that.
if they don't, they're going to want to add them all.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'll take you around and show you some other new things. In the Ranger booth, but of course they're with some different companies that I've teamed up with. I think one of the most exciting things really at this show is the fact that I've teamed up with Sizzix to bring a line of dies. It's called Alterations. It's basically a line of steel rule dies, and the benefit of having a steel rule die is that you can go through thicker materials: bookboard, chipboard, grunge board.
paper.
Yeah, grunge paper and grunge board though. It goes really
wow,
thick.
really thick.
It'll go through felt, layers of fabric, of course, cardstock. And so you can see the designs are not your normal kind of, I call them bubblegum designs. These have a little bit more of an edge to them. So everything from the bird and the bird cage to the tattered floral, hinges and hardware, some really cool shapes like the butterfly and the flourishes. I've also done some edge dies, and this is something that's completely new to Sizzix as well as the industry. These are dies that simply cut an edge. That's all they do.
We've actually been looking for that.
We have.
We come to the show and see this, and we're like, oh my gosh, we've been wanting
Well,
to
actually, we
Right.
saw it on your blog, I think.
Yeah, because
like the preview.
everyone has, chipboard books or acrylic books, and you always have to buy a different shape book if you want it to be anything different than just a square. So these edge dies, this just shows two of the different edge that is on the die. So one side of the die will have one decorative edge, the other side will have the other, and you basically just place your material on the edge, run it through your system, and it's going to cut any decorative edge you want. And again, felt, fabric, canvas, so the things you can't do with your decorative scissors.
We really love this because we feel like it's a product that will fuel people's creativity.
That's right.
When you give them the means to get there, the possibilities are endless.
Right. For me, it's just about kind of developing tools that people are going to get a lot of use out of. Not just like, oh, I'm just going to get it this one time and then next week something better will come along. Hopefully this is something that they can add to their collection and continue to use it for a lot of things. Everything from cards to scrapbook pages, mini books, or even home decor elements. So it's cool. Then we of course added some embossing folders. I know you guys are fans of embossing
We are
folders.
fans of embossing folders.
Now these are called texture fades, and one of the unique things about this particular one is the fact that you can see that these textures are very grungy. This is just the artwork. It doesn't actually have the folder in the package. But the textures that these emboss are things like wood grain and brick and things that are a little bit more grungy. But the best part is that unlike other embossing folders that just kind of smash it together and you just get a raised thing, this is going to raise different layers.
Wow.
And
my
your texture is
gosh.
going to fade out in areas. So that's the nice thing about inking it, is that when you ink it, some areas obviously are going to ink heavier when
Just
they're
like wood
higher
grain
up.
would, you'd have the
Right.
darker areas.
Exactly, and as you blend that out, it starts to fade away. So that's what's so unique about the texture fades. And there's all sorts of vintage collage, ledgers,
Bingo,
damask,
super
bingo.
popular
Yeah.
right
Very popular right now.
Well, here's the fun thing about the bingo, because of course I'm going to use this. When you emboss this bingo, let's say you just wanted to put it on the front of a card, these folders are larger than the other embossing folders, so this will actually emboss the entire face of the card. But all you would have to do is emboss this. If you're going to do a Valentine card, ink the 14. You're going to do a Christmas card, ink the 25.
That's a
You're going to do a
cute
Halloween
idea.
card,
Very
ink the
good.
31.
Now
So
you said
the
that
key
you're a
numbers.
fan of anything with numbers.
Yes.
And we were going to ask you if you either had a favorite or a lucky number.
13.
Okay.
13.
So
Yeah.
the opposite
Very
of
cool.
everyone else's lucky number.
All about, yeah, it's all about
That's a
pushing
very
it,
lucky
man.
13.
Pushing it. That's
Yeah,
right.
great idea.
Yeah, so that is the collection with alterations. Now, of course, this has been a huge show, so I also extended the Idea-ology line, brought in some really new and fun things.